There are moments from your past that your brain refuses to forget. A sentence you said wrong, a joke that nobody laughed at, a moment when everyone looked at you and you wished the ground would open beneath you. Years pass, but suddenly, while you're brushing your teeth, walking down the street, or trying to fall asleep, the memory returns, sharp, clear, almost alive. And the strange part is this: your brain doesn't replay your best memories this way. It replays the ones that make you cringe. Why? Why does your mind hold on to moments you desperately want to forget? And more importantly, what is your brain trying to do? Most people assume these memories mean something is wrong with them. They think, why am I still thinking about that? Why can't I just let it go? Everyone else probably forgot. But your brain didn't forget. In fact, it archived the moment with unusual precision. Psychologists call this emotional memory tagging. When something emotionally intense happens, especially something involving social embarrassment, your brain marks it as important. Not pleasant, important. And from the brain's perspective, social mistakes have always been dangerous. For most of human history, survival depended on belonging to a group. Being rejected by the tribe could mean isolation. Isolation meant vulnerability, and vulnerability often meant death. So the human brain evolved a powerful monitoring system for social errors. Moments where you violated a social rule, moments where you felt judged, moments when attention suddenly turned toward you. Your brain flags these moments like warning signs, not to torture you, but to prevent you from repeating them. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is not trying to embarrass you. It is trying to protect you. That painful replay is not punishment, it is training. Your mind is running simulations. It replays the moment so you can analyze it again. So you can ask, what went wrong? Could I handle this better next time? To your brain, this is preparation. But in the modern world, this ancient safety system sometimes misfires, because the social risks today are very different from the risks our brains evolved to handle. Embarrassment today rarely leads to exile, yet the brain still treats it as a potential threat to belonging. So it replays, and replays, and replays. To understand why this happens, we need to look at two systems inside the brain: the amygdala and the hippocampus. The amygdala acts like an emotional alarm system. Whenever something intense happens, fear, shame, excitement, embarrassment, the amygdala signals, pay attention, this matters. At that moment, another structure activates, the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the brain's memory librarian. It records where the event happened, who was there, what was said. But when the amygdala is involved, the hippocampus stores the memory with extra detail, like writing it in bold ink. This is why embarrassing moments feel so vivid. But there's another system involved, the default mode network. This is the brain network that activates when you're not focused on a task, when you're showering, walking, trying to fall asleep. Your brain switches into reflection mode, and the default mode network begins reviewing the past, looking for patterns, looking for unresolved experiences. It's almost like a nightly audit, and embarrassing memories often get flagged because they contain unfinished emotional meaning. Your brain wants closure, but embarrassment rarely provides closure, so the memory stays open, like a browser tab your brain keeps returning to. The goal is not to stop these memories entirely. That would mean turning off a system that protects your social awareness. Instead, the goal is to change how your brain processes them. Here are 4 psychological principles that help. Normalize the social brain. The first step is understanding something important. Everyone experiences this. Psychologists call it the spotlight effect. We assume other people remember our mistakes far more than they actually do. In experiments, people consistently overestimate how much others notice their behavior. In reality, everyone is mostly focused on themselves. Your embarrassing moment was probably a passing detail in someone else's day, but your brain treats it as a headline story. Recognizing this gap reduces the emotional intensity of the memory. Convert memory into narrative. The brain struggles with raw emotional fragments, but it relaxes when experiences become stories. Instead of replaying the moment as a mistake, turn it into a narrative. For example, that was the moment I realized I care too much about how people see me. Or, that was the moment I learned how easily social anxiety can distort perception. When the brain finds meaning, the memory becomes processed instead of unfinished. The tab closes. Practice psychological distancing. Another powerful tool comes from cognitive psychology. It's called self-distancing. Instead of remembering the moment from inside your body, imagine watching it like a scene in a movie. You observe your younger self. You see the environment. You see the awkward moment. But you watch it as an outside observer. This shift changes how the brain encodes emotion. Research shows that self-distancing reduces activity in emotional threat centers. It allows reflection without reliving the shame. Replace prediction with curiosity. Your brain replays embarrassing memories because it wants to prevent future danger. But it often does this by predicting catastrophe. If that happens again, I look stupid. Instead of prediction, introduce curiosity. Ask a different question. What would happen if I handled that situation today? Chances are your current self is more experienced, more resilient, more aware. The memory came from an older version of you, but the brain often forgets to update the file. Think of your brain as a cautious archivist. It stores moments not based on happiness, but based on perceived importance. Embarrassing memories feel large because they were tagged as threats to belonging. The amygdala marked them, the hippocampus recorded them, and the default mode network keeps reviewing them whenever your mind becomes quiet. But here's the key insight. Your brain is not replaying the memory because it wants to trap you in the past. It's replaying it because it still thinks the lesson is unfinished. Once the lesson becomes clear, the memory loses urgency. It becomes just another moment in the archive of your life. One day, you will remember that embarrassing moment again, but something will feel different. Instead of shame, you'll feel distance. Instead of panic, you'll feel curiosity. Because the memory will no longer represent danger, it will represent growth. And the strange thing about the human mind is this. The moments we once wished never happened often become the moments that quietly shaped who we are. Not perfectly, not gracefully, but honestly. And sometimes, the mind only lets go of the memory once it knows you've already learned what it was trying to teach you.